Good morning and welcome to the Dave Longley Breakfast Show. Coming at you live and alive from the gurgling stomach of diarrhea-infested Derbyshire. Start your day right with Dave Longley. We have everything you need to get your day started the right way. That's right, it's the Dave Longley Breakfast Show, giving you travel, weather, chat and commentary. And today, that commentary is all about the very sad demise of the BBC comedy institution known as Live at the Apollo. Very, very sad times for stand-up comedy fans all over the UK, and indeed, very sad times for stand-up comedians. When I went on Live at the Apollo after just 4 gigs, it really upset a lot of stand-up comedians. They were very, I don't know, I suppose jealous is the word I'm looking for, because it is such a respected comedy institution and it is considered the pinnacle of achievement for all comedians in the UK. Now, I like to think that I gave a good account of myself on that particular episode, and doing that episode opened up many, many other doors for me when it comes to my other job of comedy. Now, I'm not one to brag about my other jobs, but it has allowed me to perform on other stand-up comedy shows as well as comedy shows on the radio. And this week, I had the, I would say, misfortune to appear on Radio 4's Comedy Institution, I'm Sorry I Haven't a Clue. Now, for me, this experience just exemplifies what is actually wrong with comedy at the BBC, and it's probably why Live at the Apollo was cancelled. For me, BBC comedy is just too safe. It's far too safe. I was too edgy for the Radio 4 crowd. And I think that's what the problem is with Live at the Apollo. It had no edge. It was just too safe. But maybe you think differently. Maybe you think Live at the Apollo wasn't safe enough. I want to hear from you. So get in touch. You can leave a comment on the Facebook page, or you can call in and maybe I'll talk to you live on BBC Radio Derby. But before any of that, we need to make sure that you can get to where you want to be with minimal disruption. So let's go and get you some motherfucking travel news, motherfucker.
BBC Radio Derby travel news.
That's right, it's travel time. Now, in Allington by the Spider Bridge, there are delays as a man is threatening to jump off. The man had recently been dumped by your mum and says life is no longer worth living as he has never had rim jobs like it. Police negotiators are on the scene and are finding it very difficult to talk him down as he is making quite a compelling case for never being able to meet another woman who enjoys the taste of shit as much as your mum does. So avoid the Spider Bridge in Allington if you can. In Matlock on the A6, there is congestion due to a road fatality as a car has overturned, killing all 4 of its passengers. Really tragic news on the A6 there. The red Nissan Micra was going too fast as the road went from national speed limit into a 30 miles per hour zone. With the... Oh, sorry, I'm just being handed something here. Hang on a second. Oh, bit of good news. They were all illegal immigrants. Ah, right, okay. Well, what a pain in the arse for the emergency services and everyone queuing in that fucking traffic. I tell you what, if we had a better immigration policy and a government who was actually interested in stopping the boats, then maybe this wouldn't have happened. We really do need reform. That is all your travel for today. That is a very appropriate jingle there, given the previous travel story. Let's get some of your comments from the Facebook page on Live at the Apollo. Max in Matlock has posted, I switched over to watch Live at the Apollo once and there was a woman on it. No thank you. Becky in Belper has written, I used to love watching Live at the Apollo, but lately it's got a bit stale. Too much preaching and not enough jokes. Would it kill them to let us just laugh at one of the disabled? I'm sick of being told I have to laugh with them. Thank you, Becky, for that comment. Linda in Littleover has posted, it's not even live. It's pre-recorded with canned laughter. There is no fucking way Stuart Goldsmith got that many laughs twatting on about climate change. Complete bullshit. And don't get me started on the number of ragheads they have on. Thank you, Linda, for that comment. Nassim in Normanton has written here, I think the BBC did a great job of representing all kinds of people on that show, and it really did make me feel like I was being acknowledged. What I didn't enjoy was the amount of women I had to endure. I wrote into the BBC for confirmation that none of the women who appeared on Live at the Apollo were menstruating, but I never got a reply. Thank you, Nassim, for that comment. And our final comment for now reads, it was always my dream to be on Live at the Apollo. They just wouldn't have me on, no matter what I did and no matter how funny I was. I looked carefully at the history of the BBC and decided that my best bet for getting on the show was to download images of child sexual abuse. Alas, it was never meant to be. All I have now are the memories of my previous career, the distant sound of laughter, and 7 or 8 hard drives buried under a tree in a field in Chesterfield. That comment there from Tom Binns.
If you want all the ladies to react with splendor,
Mandeep's Magic Member Mender.
you can visit our booth at the shopping center.
Mandeep's Magic Member Mender.
It's non-surgical, so you won't feel tender.
Mandeep's Magic Member Mender.
Made with Indian herbs, a traditional blender.
Mandeep's Magic Member Mender.
If you need to finance, we can sort a lender.
Mandeep's Magic Member Mender.
Money back guaranteed, no return to sender.
Mandeep's Magic Member Mender.
We're very transparent, we got no agenda.
Mandeep's Magic Member Mender.
We got a website and it's easy to remember.
Mandeep's Magic Member
We
Mender.
can tell you where to go to find a vendor.
Mandeep's Magic Member Mender.
We can translate it for you if you no comprende.
Mandeep's Magic Member Mender.
There's a loyalty scheme, so if you're a big spender,
Mandeep's Magic Member Mender.
excludes Northern Ireland, sorry, no surrender.
Mandeep's Magic Member
You
Mender.
can do more damage as a sex offender.
Mandeep's Magic Member Mender.
I don't like Cory, but I watch his tender.
Mandeep's Magic Member Mender.
Tell us your address so we know where to send you.
Mandeep's Magic Member Mender.
Always read the label, use as intended.
Mandeep's Magic Member Mender.
Right, it's time for our first call. And on the line, we have Juan. Hi, Juan.
Hello, David. It's Juan here.
Hi, Juan. Juan, I can only imagine what you're going through. We are today talking about the sad demise of Live at the Apollo. Juan, how are you getting on?
Oh my God, David, I'm so disappointed. I'm feeling so. I'm feeling very deflated. You know, it was a big dream of mine to become the Live at the Apollo, star. But sadly, these things is not going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, we've all got dreams and you work hard to get those dreams and then someone else just comes along and shakes you awake. It's awful.
Yes, I'm not sure what to do, but I'm still gonna do the stand-up comedy though, David.
That's
you know,
wonderful. That's wonderful.
I'm not gonna let it stop me from doing the stand-up comedy. As a matter of fact, I don't beat the frog.
Oh, you've done Beat the Frog?
I did the beat the frog with Dan McLaughlin. Danny McLaughlin was very funny.
Danny was funny.
Danny McLaughlin was very funny. The compere.
Right,
the guy
yeah. I've heard of Danny. Yeah, I've heard of Danny.
Yes, he's a very, very quick. He's a very quick, and it turns out, David, he runs a few gigs.
He's what?
So, he runs a few gigs.
Oh, you did a bit of networking.
Yes, I've realized the importance of doing the networking. I said to him, maybe I could come on the Alexander's.
Did he give you a date?
No, he didn't give me a date, and he said, make sure you can beat the frog first.
Right.
because I did not beat the frog.
Oh dear, that's a shame. Yeah.
No,
Well,
I only managed to do one guitar solo before the beat the frog song.
well, don't worry about Danny too much, because even if he does give you a date, it doesn't really mean anything.
Yes, I don't think so. You know, he was talking about telling someone they couldn't do the show anyway on the Friday. So he was changing the plans.
What do you think did you at Beat the Frog then? Because, you know, it's only 5 minutes.
Yes, I know it's only 5 minutes, but David, I told you I'm struggling. I'm not sure the guitar solo is working, you know. I don't think the guitar solo is working.
Well,
I play the guitar solo and I do it for a little bit, but it works in the, you know, in the regular shows. But in the gong show, they don't like it.
Maybe the audience is a little bit more discerning at a gong show. How long is the guitar solo?
Oh, it's about 1 minute.
Right, and it's no jokes, it's just the guitar.
No, because you see, David, the point of the guitar solo is to get a round of applause.
Yeah, that is a tricky one. Maybe it is better suited to longer sets.
Yes, maybe I could just drop the guitar altogether and then see if I can do it.
Let's slow down now. Come on, you can't just throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Well, David, there's been a lot of changes right now because I mean they're not doing the David the Apoyo anymore, so I've got nothing to work towards.
No, don't give. Wouldn't it be great to be able to earn a living as a stand-up comedian?
Oh, David, it would be the dream of man to earn a living as a stand-up comedian.
Yeah,
but
I mean, why wouldn't you want to earn, you know, the same as anyone else on minimum wage?
Exactly, with a lot of trouble. The reason I got into stand-up comedy is so I can go to places like Stoke and Ashby de la Zouch.
Yeah, I mean, Ashby de la Zouch is actually lovely. Have you been to York?
I've not been to York yet, but I've heard of it.
Yeah, York. There's a couple of gigs in York. There's one run by a guy called Damien Larkin. He pays variably depending upon how much he can lean on the individual that he's booking. But he runs a gig in York. It's not particularly well paid, but he makes a lot of money.
Yes. What was his name again? It was Damian. What
Larkin.
Was it? Damian Larkin. Yes. Okay, this is sounding like a good, he sounds like a very trustworthy individual.
Yeah, he'll probably put you in for a middle, and it will be a middle 10 to 15, and then on the night, he'll say, do 20 if you like, and then that's a way of giving the audience 3 20-minute sets rather than a middle spot. And but you won't get paid for the 20, you'll get paid for an open spot.
Yes, well, you see, the thing is right now, David, I'm trying to learn how to do the craft. But a 20-minute spot, I can do lots of guitar solos to fill in the time.
Yeah, you can chuck that guitar solo up to 3-4 minutes if you like. There's some acts who go on and they introduce the guitar and then do a guitar solo.
Yes, and this is a fantastic way to get a round of applause. That is what I'm going to do. I've been doing some other gigs, David. And but the thing about the Lava de Apollo, I was talking to my friend John. My friend John said he's a very, very good actor. He's been around for a very long time. He's been very unlucky with the TV appearances. He's been very unlucky with the way that the comedy industry has looked. He was saying the comedy industry, they look down and know him because he's so good. He's so good, they're jealous of how good he is.
You think that's why he's not been on? Right, yeah. I mean, jealousy is very real. Yeah. Who's not booking him?
He does the old school. He said he does just jokes. He does the jokes. And some of the jokes, I see them do. I say, because David, I realize one of the things that they're going to get me ahead in this game is if I stick around to watch the headliner.
Yes.
If you stick around to watch the headliner, you can get a few tips on the room. You can see how it was. I should have played the room, but they doing a better job. They doing the job I want to do, so I watch them to see how they do the job.
Yeah, Yeah, I mean, you would think it would make sense, but it varies from gig to gig, audience to audience, and performance to performance. Were I to be going on last, I usually go on last. Because I've got a bit of
Yes, you're very
cachet.
famous.
Yeah,
David, you're very
bit of
famous.
cachet, especially in the Derbyshire and East Midlands area. But you could have had what's known as dross before that. And therefore you are having to clean up a lot of mess. Sometimes you just go on and you close the show and you ride the wave of energy, but it's all a learning process, I found. Like I say, I've not been doing it very long, but I have been blessed with being boosted up the ladder a little bit. Having done live at the Apollo, I can say it is transformative in terms of both bookings and financial remuneration. However, if you need a new goal, I would look at Taskmaster.
Well, this is the thing, David. Juan was telling me, Juan is a fantastic comedian. He got a four encore. After his set.
Yeah.
He got the four times the audience said, come back and do another bit.
Yeah.
This is how good he is.
Yeah.
It didn't sound like they were saying too much to me. It sounded like a regular round of applause, but it went back up 4 times. That's how good I'm intending to be. That's how good I'm aspiring to be.
Yeah.
But
4 encores is bare minimum, to be honest.
Yes, but there was four times the audience was saying more. Well, 4 times the audience was applauding.
Yeah.
But he went back up the 4 times. But what I'm saying, he was telling me that he started to do. He said to me, Juan, fuck all the TV people, fuck all the Labia Pollo people. They was never going to book you anyway. He said this to me. He said you was never going to get booked anyway because you're too old. He said once you get too old, once you get past 24, and if you are straight white male, then you're not going to get the booked at all. And he said, what you got to do is focus on the online Instagram.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's good advice. You should. But I don't like false dichotomies. I think you can do both.
You mean focus on the TV and focus on the...
You can do both. Why not build up a big social media presence and go on television? I mean, if you look at comedians who've been on Taskmaster, some of them are fucking, they're not funny. That's bottom line, they're not funny. But they're personable, people like them, and then they end up with more opportunities. So what you need to do is remove any fight that you have in your body, do as you're told, and be personable. That'll get you 70% of the way.
I think you're probably right, David, because I think that sometimes, when the promoter calls me up and says, listen, we're not sold very many tickets this month, do you think you could take a little bit of a pay cut, as in, not take the expenses? I say, okay. And they're keen to book me again.
Yeah, funny that. Yeah, funny.
Yes, I think sometimes you just got to play the game, David?
Yeah, play the game. I think so, yeah. But whatever you decide to do, Juan, I hope you persevere and I hope you succeed.
Thank you so much, David. I hope I can be on the Taskmaster. Maybe they bring back a Labia Pollo someday,
I think it'll come back in a different way, but yeah.
Yes, they brought back the Mock of the Week, didn't they?
They did. They brought it back on TLC. So maybe you can do Live at the Apollo on TLC.
We can only hope, David. But thank you so much for talking to me today.
It's my pleasure.
I cannot wait one day, David, when we will see each other on the circuit.
It would be great. When we share a bill, I'll be there laughing my head off.
It's wonderful to talk to you, David. I will speak to you soon.
It's time for our next call. And on the line, oh, wonderful. It's the sponsor of the weather. It's Babbs. Hi, Babbs.
Hello, Dave. How you doing? It's Babbs here.
I'm all right, Babbs. I just had an attack of a sneeze there, and I had to really fight it off. Sorry.
Don't do that, Dave. I tell you what, a sneeze, I don't know if you've heard this, 1/8 of an orgasm.
Yeah, I don't know how they come up with 1/8. It used to be 1/7. They've obviously adjusted the metrics a little bit. Does that mean that if you sneeze 8 times, you orgasm?
It's the equivalent of a full orgasm, isn't it?
I just can't see that being right, because everyone would just be sniffing pepper all the time. What if you were in bed with somebody and you just shoved a load of gladioli in the face if they had hay fever? I just don't think it would work.
I can see what you're saying, Dave, but what you got to remember, these hay fever people, you know the ones that get hay fever, they're not sitting there being dead horny, is it? So it makes sense that maybe they're not horny, not because of the unpleasantness of the hay fever, but because they've sexually gratified themselves with a sneeze.
Interesting. I'll have to look into that a little bit further. Maybe we could do an episode on scientific quirky research. That might be interesting, because I want to get to the bottom of this 1/8 of an orgasm.
Oh, that'll be a bloody good episode, I reckon, Dave. You could do a lot there, a lot of scope there. And I tell you what, Dave, these days, a lot of people have got opinions on science. So it would make for a very colourful episode.
Yes, that sounds good. But we're off topic, Babbs. It's too easy to talk to you. I think, do you know what it is? I think, how a lot of women have a gay best friend?
Yeah.
I feel like it's that kind of dynamic with you, Babbs. Just so easy to talk to you.
Oh, thank you so much, Dave. Am I your fag-hag?
Oh, I don't like that term, but
oh, sorry, Dave.
No. By
I thought I was an ally.
It. No, you use what you like, but it's just I just think BFF. BFF sounds nicer than fag-hag.
Yeah, well, it does. Yeah, but the hag is more on me, you see.
Yeah, and I wouldn't ever refer to a woman as a hag. It just seems unnecessarily cruel.
Well, you're right, Dave. It is a bit, it was me that was saying it. Don't worry about it,
Yeah, okay, yeah, I'm fine.
I was just suggesting, maybe I've overstepped the mark. I am sorry.
No, don't never apologise, Babbs. You be you, and we're all part of the same alphabet, so we have to stand together.
Exactly, Dave. If we're not together, we are divided, aren't we?
Yes, that's the way it works. But as I say, I could talk to you all day, but I do have a job to do, and we do have a topic, and the topic is the cancellation of BBC's Live at the Apollo. Stand-up comedy on the BBC is dead. Do you have some thoughts on this, Babbs?
Oh, yeah, well, it's been dead for a while now, Dave. It has been dead for a while. I will tell you what the problem is. I remember, when it came out, what was it, 2004 was it came out?
Oh, I don't know.
2004, early 2000s, I remember it. Me and the girls would get a bottle of bubbly and sitting on a Saturday night watching Jack D, because it started out with Jack D, didn't it? Jack D would introduce all the acts.
Yeah, possibly, yeah.
Well, he was the host every week, that was the thing, and he used to do that thing when he was filling time and he'd get the audience to text in, messages and then pretend that he was reading them out live. Whereas really, he'd gone backstage and picked the best ones, But,
right, yeah.
But I understand there's a bit of smoke and mirrors when it comes to telly. But me and the girls used to get a bottle of bubbly and, some ice cream, sit on the couch, legs up, having a right old fucking giggle at what was being said on Live at the Apollo.
Yeah.
Oh, Joan Rivers. What a comedian,
Joan Rivers was on it, yeah, that's right, yeah.
Oh, they had some really good acts, First sort of 10 years and that, but really good acts. But I'll tell you what started to ruin it for me, Dave.
Okay.
And I feel bad saying it. We were just talking about being allies before, but it's all these fucking women.
Right, yeah.
All these fucking women. When you look at some of the episodes they had,
but not Joan Rivers.
Oh no, I'm not. The thing is, Dave, what you remember, I'm not saying all female comedians are shite.
No, the evidence is.
Well, yes, but they're not all shite. You know what? There's good ones. There is good ones. But what I
Name
think...
3.
Oh, well, you got Joan Rivers there. Or does she not count because she's dead?
We'll count her.
Okay, well, if we're counting the dead ones, what about... what was her name? Victoria Wood. She was a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Privately
What about...
educated. Yeah.
Yeah, Milliken. She's good.
Oh, she's not dead, is she?
Well, no, I was just counting the one dead one.
Oh, God, it moves so fast. We have had a loss this week. So, you never know.
Yeah. I mean, there you go. There's 3.
There's 3. You've done a great job there. That normally it gets tricky after 1.
No, you see, that's the thing.
I think including the dead really helps.
Yeah, well, if you've included the ones that aren't here anymore, you're all right. You can sort of, I know it's clutching at straws a bit, but there was, Jo Brand, she was all right, wasn't she? I mean, I liked her. I'm going to say that, Dave. But what I'm saying, you see, that's the thing, Dave. That these are big names, aren't they? You look at your Millikins. You look at your Catherine Ryan. Catherine Ryan's good, although foreign. That is one.
Yeah, she does benefit from a male writer, so it's a little bit of smoke and mirrors.
Well, yeah, but I'm not saying these women would be where they are without a man. I'm just saying.
Right, good.
Yeah, there's some good ones and there's some not so good ones. But what I'm saying then, once you start to get closer and closer to like after the sort of like early noughties.
Yes.
Once it started to really get going, once you started to get into your season 10s, your season 12s.
Yeah, once women got the idea in the head that they were funny, it was game over.
No, I don't think that's the problem, Dave. I don't think the idea that they've got it in their head that they're funny is the problem. I think the idea they get in their head is that everybody gets a turn.
Oh, you think that that they think it's a fairness thing?
They think it's a fairness thing, you see. They're all about it's got to be fair. We're all equals at the end of the day, but you just got to look around and go, no, we're fucking not, mate.
Well, I mean, we're not. We're not equal. Some of us have got beards. Some of us have got long noses. We're not the same. We're
absolutely not the same. And I tell you this, Dave. I mean, when you look at suicide rates of men, innit? What is it? 75% to 25% women. You see, and women will sit there saying, "Oh yes, but we've got it harder because we've got to deal with men." Well, you know what, right? But the other thing is, more women try it than men, but they don't succeed because we're not equal. Because they're not as good at killing themselves.
Not as good at tying knots. Probably a grip strength issue.
Well, they tend to go for less violent methods, overdoses and whatnot. Things where people can find
attention seeking. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? They don't have the lower body strength and the upper body strength to climb up on that bridge.
I think more women would be put off by suicide if they knew that upon death they shit themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not a sexy image, isn't it? You walk in, there's Marilyn Monroe, handful of sleeping tablets, and you try and pump her stomach, and you're like, what is that smell? And it's Marilyn Monroe. She's filled her knickers with shit.
Oh God, can you imagine if she stood over that wind grate with all that coming out of her? Oh, Jesus Christ, there'd be shit everywhere. Yeah, but you're right, Dave. There's something
Caroline
unladylike.
Flack. Someone walks in on Caroline Flack. Oh, she's so young. She's so beautiful. Fucking hell, she stinks. It's bad.
Yeah. Sit there, start calling her Caroline Scat. that sort of thing. It's disgusting. The picture of that lady. Yeah, it's called the beautiful suicide. I don't know if you've seen it. Where she's lay on the car. I think she killed herself in New York or something in the 1920s.
Right. Yeah.
Just imagine a big puddle of diarrhea next to her.
Oh yeah, it would have been there. It will be there somewhere. It always happens. You die, out comes the shit.
Yeah, well, I suppose back in those days, they were a bit more ladylike. They had to wear, pantyhose and all that, didn't they?
Yeah, it's...
yeah, so it would have kept it in. But anyway, what I'm saying, Dave, is women don't realise that they're not actually equal to men. they are better than men in many ways, but not always.
No, and we all have strengths and weaknesses. It's just that I can reel off women's weaknesses really easily. It's just difficult with reeling off men's weaknesses.
Well, I could name a few men's weaknesses, I reckon, but
Go
what I'm
for it,
saying
Babbs. Go for it.
well, they're very they can be unclean. They don't clean up after themselves as much.
What you mean in the house?
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't come naturally to us, and if we're living with a woman, why would we?
Yeah, that's a fair point.
If you got a dog, Babbs?
I haven't got a dog, no.
No. If you had a dog, right, and the postman came, would you bark or would you let the dog bark?
Well, yeah, I'd let the dog bark, yeah.
Right. So if I'm living with a woman, okay, look, I live alone. I'm a homosexual man. I live alone. Spotless, my ass. Absolutely spotless, because I haven't got a woman to clean up after me. But were I living with you, for example, I would just leave shit lying around and you'd have to pick it up.
I mean, that is a fair point, now, Dave. Yeah, I can see that as well. It's in a way many women enabling this kind of behaviour, aren't they? So they've got something to moan about.
Yeah, look, you were born a woman. You've got an innate nesting instinct. You have to keep your nest tidy, for when you're laying your eggs. Obviously, it depends on the time of the month and the luteal cycle, so to speak. If that's kicking in, you're a little bit more full of progesterone and, you probably experience this, Babbs. You probably, once a month, you're off the charts horny. Why? You're ovulating.
Yes, well, I'll be honest with you, Dave. Most days I'm horny because the job.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So I've got no problems there, if you know what I mean. But yeah, you do bring
what I'm saying, and I don't mean to sound in any way, shape, or form Islamic, is that lots of male weakness is due to females.
Yes, that's a very good point, that, Dave. Yeah. I would wholeheartedly agree with what you've said there. There is a lot of they do drag them down a bit, but this is what I'm saying. They've dragged, live at the Apollo, when it was just pretty much men. You had like I said, you had the old woman on, but it was a good one. But once women got involved, it became untenable.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
well,
I don't know if you know this, Dave. Right? Do you know the reason that men are hunter gatherers and women tend to stick by the home, the homemakers?
I don't know. No, why?
Well, it's because you see, back in the early days, back when men were hunter gatherers and that, when things were going, proper.
Yeah.
Basically, the men would go out. They had the strength and the resilience to get things, whereas women, like you said, up and down. Some days they had a bit of a headache, so they didn't want to go out hunting. But
moody.
Yes, but also, David, what you've got to remember is that losing a female member of the tribe was seen as catastrophic, whereas men were seen as replaceable.
Well, isn't that fucking typical?
But yes, because women are, the seed, and the men have to germinate the seed, but there's only so many seeds. So that's what I'm saying. If a woman was lost, it was devastating to the tribe. If a man was lost, replaceable. And I think that attitude has carried on to this day, but women aren't able to admit that.
Well, it's a very solid point. A lot of good talking points there. Hopefully we get plenty of comments responding to those, Babbs. Babbs, like I say, could talk to you all day long, but I do have to listen to other people twatting on.
Oh, that's fair enough, Dave. I mean, just to tie things up in a nutshell, right?
Please do. Tie them up in that nutshell.
But once they started letting too many women on live at the Apollo, that's when things really went on. I'll be honest with you, Dave. You give me 2 years doing stand-up comedy, I reckon I could have been on it.
Yeah. I've heard that said.
Give me 2 years, I'll go on it.
I've heard it.
Don't even have to know how to write a joke. Don't even have to know how to tell a joke. No. I've watched some of the latter series.
I have heard it said, and by
someone just slag off men. And look
someone
what
who's
we've been
taken
doing.
seriously. Yeah, it's very interesting, Babbs.
Right, well, I'll let you get on with the show, Dave. I hope you get some I'm happy for a bit of debate. If some people want to disagree, they can disagree. But that's my opinion.
I'm sure people will disagree, but it makes the world go round. Thank you, Babbs. Always a pleasure.
All the best now, Dave. Speak to you soon.
Hey pal, take a chance. Why not join my OnlyFans? I'll be yours and you'll be mine. For the price of some, $3.99. There's higher tiers if you want more, so hit subscribe. I'll be your whore.
It's Babbs. Babbs OnlyFans. Babbs OnlyFans.
Hey pal, don't be rude. Come and see me in the nude. Watch me whack it, watch me grapple. Watch me hide this Adam's apple. Come on pal, have no fear. Get your dick out, Barbara's here.
It's Babbs. Babbs OnlyFans. Babbs OnlyFans.
Hey pal, where you at? Come and look at Barbara's twat. Hit subscribe, what are you doing? Come and see how Babbs get ruined. Join the gang, support the arts. There's a welcome gift, it's a jar of farts.
It's Babbs. Babbs OnlyFans. Babbs OnlyFans.
Come on pal, take a punt. Have a look at Barbara's cunt. I guarantee there is no finer when it comes to my vagina. I've got breasts, I've got a fanny. I swear to God, I'm not a tranny.
It's Babbs. Babbs OnlyFans. Babbs OnlyFans. Babbs OnlyFans.
We've got time for another call, as long as it's a short one. And they don't come much shorter than my good friend Yusuf. Hi, Yusuf.
Hello, Dave. How's it going? It's Yusuf here.
Hi, Yusuf. I knew it was you because it said it on the screen, and then I heard your voice. How are you, sir?
I'm all right, thanks, Dave. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm and just embracing all the feelings around the cancellation of Live at the Apollo. How do you feel about it, Yusuf?
Well, as a performer myself, we got the band and that. I've got to say, given my recent insight into the performance industry, I can categorically say that agents have ruined this.
Oh, you think it's Asians?
No, agents.
Oh, agents.
Yeah.
That makes more sense, Yusuf.
Yeah. No, well, to be fair, no, some Asians, but mainly agents. They've made this very difficult. I mean, I don't know if you remember the early days of Live at the Apollo, Dave.
I don't know. This has already come up. I'm not really that familiar with it.
I mean, sort of. I don't need to tell you how to, grandma how to suck eggs or nothing, but maybe a little bit of rudimentary research before discussing the topic on the show would have been a good idea. But
hold on, Yusuf. Thank you for calling me to account there, or holding me to account, should I say. You're right. I should have done more research, but I've only just become a stand-up comedy fan. I didn't like stand-up comedy until I started doing it. So, yes, you're right. I should have done more research. I do apologise.
a quick glance across the Wikipedia, Dave, would do wonders for your knowledge on the show.
Sorry, Yusuf.
It's okay, Dave. It's fine. But don't worry. You know, you've got me, Yusuf. I am always, as an Asian dwarf, I'm always on the computer. So I have had a look myself, Dave. But I was a big fan of the show. I have been a big fan of the show since it first came out. I used to love watching Jack D bring those acts on. You had Ahmed Jalali. You had loads of people. The famous ones: Julian Clary. Dara O'Brien, Michael McIntyre. You had these big names. That's what made the show great. And then it just started to take a little bit of a dip. And I'll tell you what it would have been, Dave. It'll have been the fees going down and these agents willing to take less and less money for the same work.
Oh, so that's why you think agents. You think agents said... So agents were like, yeah, it's 15 grand. And then they've gone, well, actually, no, it's 10. Or no, it's 5. Now it's 3. And said yes every time instead of putting the foot down.
Exactly. Well, if I know, I if I know my agents, which I remember talking to about it, Dave. I've rang him before about how unscrupulous they can be. And if this is anything to do with our old agent, he would have definitely taken a lower fee just so he could get 50 quid.
That's outrageous. I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm so sorry to hear that. It must be a real rush of anger that you feel when you hear that.
Yes, it's a rush of anger. It really is. You know, it drives me insane. You know, don't get me on this boat now, Dave. Don't get me on this boat. I don't wanna sit in the anger. I'm over it. But you know what I'm talking about. I'm just I see the situation these poor comedians are in. You know, but like I said, Dave, because they're taking less money, the acts are getting weaker, aren't they?
Of course, yeah. You know, you pay peanuts, get monkeys. You know, and there's been a lot of monkeys on Live at the Apollo. You know, they've got a lot of boxes to tick. You know, they have to meet certain demographic demands.
That is a little bit racist, Dave, and I will call you on that as well.
What? Which bit was racist? It was a metaphor.
The monkeys. You know what I'm talking about.
I have no idea what you're talking about, Yusuf.
Okay, Dave, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt on this time, but the last time I was on this show, we had issue with the bleeps. So
I would never be racist. Okay, I was using a very well-known phrase: "Pay peanuts, get monkeys." Although I think "pay peanuts, get elephants" is more apt.
This also
because there was a few of them on as well.
Yes, there were. Well, there's been a few fatties in it. It's not. I mean, the thing is, what you got to remember, Dave, is that, like I said, they sort of used it as a showcase for the best of the best. You know, the top dogs in comedy, innit?
Well, they used to, yeah.
That's what I mean. And then it just became a sort of new talent sort of breeding ground, innit? I mean, there's been a couple of episodes that I couldn't even make it all the way through, you know?
Oh, terrible.
They had people like Rosie Jones on.
Rosie Jones, yeah.
No disrespect at all. I realise the woman is not a fault, but you know, I mean that was a fucking two-parter, Dave, wasn't it? You know, you shouldn't have a to be continued in a comedy show.
No, you shouldn't.
That's how long it took to get to the fucking punchline. And when they let her host, I'm just gonna say this now, Dave. You can't host with that kind of disability. You're saying names. If you can't understand what they're fucking saying, how do you know who's gonna come out from behind the Live at the Apollo sign?
Well, they had, to be fair, they did have a few of those people with the same affliction hosting.
Who else hosted with that affliction?
Pardon?
Who else hosted?
Wasn't his name Tim Renno? Is that his name?
Did he host?
I believe I think he did. I think so.
Oh yeah, I remember now. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it just baffles me. Like,
I mean, they had one cunt on who just twatted on about climate change like that's a real thing.
Oh God, yeah, it just became unwatchable, really, towards the end. Yeah. You know, you'd have the odd bit of gold amongst a sea of, well, you know, okay.
Yeah, a lot of people have felt like that. A lot of people have felt like that for quite a long time as well. So it has been a long time coming. And I do think a lot of it is to do with box ticking.
Yes, it is to do with box ticking, Dave. You know, that was what our old agent used to say to us. You know, that's why he signed us in the first place. He said, you're an Asian dwarf. You're going to get loads of fucking... I reckon I could have done Live at the Apollo. You know?
I think you could. I think you could have been this generation's Joe Pasquale.
Exactly. And think about the money they would have saved with the winch for the sign, because I could have just walked underneath it.
Yeah, it wouldn't have had to go up very far. That would save money.
Exactly. Save on the electricity costs, innit, Dave?
And then you would get so much more pantomime work because it would say, as seen on Live at the Apollo.
Yeah, I mean, that's all it became in the end, didn't it? It just became a thing you could put on your CV and say, look, as seen on Live at the Apollo. And you get these punters. They go, oh, Live at the Apollo. Oh, I didn't watch them at the time. And then I go, I'll go along to this little gig and watch them die on their ass while leading off a notepad. You know, it's just, yeah, but you know, it hasn't helped all of them, you know. There's been, I don't know, it's not helped all of them. You know, you see some people and you just go, you know, you can tell me you're a comedian all you want. You're not a comedian. You're just a person with a microphone.
Strong words, Yusuf. Thank you so much for calling in, and do keep in touch.
I will do, Dave, and all the best with things, you know, and make sure, you know, next time you host the show, you know, just have a little bit of rudimentary.
Yeah, that's a good idea, Yusuf.
You do it. So, but yeah, it's a terrible thing that it's gone, but at the same time, it was on the cards for a long time.
That's a wonderful summing up. Thank you very much, Yusuf.
I'll speak to you soon, Dave.
That was Yusuf there. We are...
Oh, this is Emperor Norihito. Thank you for watching this free episode preview warm-up thing. It's just an example of what the Dave Longley Breakfast Show is all about. Why not head over to Patreon, the Dave Longley Breakfast Show, and sign up for minimal cost and support the podcast. It will allow you to access all of the content. Sayonara.